You've been there before. Up nicely for the week, maybe even the month. You're trading well, feeling confident, everything's clicking. Then somehow, by Friday or by the end of the month, those gains have evaporated. You're back where you started, or worse. And here's the frustrating part. You can't quite figure out why it keeps happening. You tell yourself you'll be more careful next time. You promise you'll protect your profits. But the cycle repeats itself over and over again. Most traders think this is just bad luck or poor risk management. They blame market conditions, volatility, or their strategy needing tweaks. But that's not the real problem, not even close. There's a hidden psychological mechanism at work that almost nobody talks about, and until you understand it, you'll keep experiencing this painful cycle of building gains and watching them disappear. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening in your brain when you give back profits, why it feels almost impossible to stop, and most importantly, how to break this pattern for good. Because once you see it, once you really understand what's driving this behavior, everything changes. This isn't about working harder or having more discipline. It's about understanding a specific psychological trap that successful traders have learned to avoid, and struggling traders fall into repeatedly without even knowing it exists. Let me tell you what happened to a trader I know. We'll call him Mark. 3 months in a row, Mark would be up 15 to 20% by the third week of the month. Incredible returns. The kind of performance that would change your life if you could sustain it. But by month end, he'd be up only 3 to 5%. Sometimes he'd even finish the month negative after being up 20% just days earlier. This wasn't happening once or twice. This was his pattern every single month. Mark would analyze his trades, adjust his strategy, tighten his stops, reduce his position sizes. Nothing worked. The pattern continued. He started thinking maybe he just wasn't cut out for trading. Then he discovered what was really happening. And within 2 months of understanding this hidden mechanism, his consistency completely transformed. He started keeping the gains he built. His equity curve smoothed out. His confidence soared. The reason you keep giving back your gains isn't about your strategy or your risk management rules. It's about something much deeper, something that happens in the psychology of every trader who experiences this pattern. And here's what makes it so insidious. The better you do initially, the stronger this mechanism becomes. Success actually triggers the very behavior that will destroy that success. It's like a psychological trap that's set by your own winning trades. Think about your own trading for a moment. How many times have you built up nice profits only to watch them disappear? How many weeks or months have followed this exact pattern? If you're nodding your head right now, if you recognize yourself in this description, then pay close attention, because what I'm about to share will probably be the most important thing you learn about trading psychology this year. The hidden reason you keep giving back your gains has a name. It's called the house money effect, and it's destroying your trading account in ways you don't even realize.
The house money effect is a well-documented psychological phenomenon where people take bigger risks with money they've recently won or gained, treating it differently than money they started with. In casinos, gamblers bet more aggressively with their winnings because it feels like the house's money, not theirs. In trading, this shows up in a specific and devastating way. After you build up some profits, your brain starts categorizing that money differently. It's not your core capital anymore. It's extra money, bonus money, house money. And your brain gives you permission to take risks with it that you'd never take with your original capital. Here's how it plays out in real trading. Let's say you start the week with a $10,000 account. You have careful rules about position sizing, risk per trade, maximum daily loss. You follow these rules religiously because that $10,000 is your money and you're protecting it. By Wednesday, you're up $500. You're now at $10,500. Your conscious mind knows that $500 is just as real as the original $10,000, but your unconscious mind doesn't see it that way. Your unconscious mind sees that $500 as house money, as a buffer, as money you can afford to lose because you didn't start the week with it anyway. This is where the danger begins. You start taking trades you normally wouldn't take. Maybe you see a setup that's not quite perfect, but you take it anyway because, hey, you're up for the week. If it doesn't work out, you're still profitable. No big deal. Or you increase your position size slightly, just on this one trade. Because you've been trading so well, you're in the zone, and you've got that cushion of profits to work with. What's the harm in pressing your edge a little harder? Or you hold a losing trade longer than your rules allow, because you don't want to give back any of those hard-earned gains. The loss feels more painful now because it's eating into your buffer, so you give it more room, hoping it'll turn around. These seem like small decisions in the moment, rational even, but they're all symptoms of the house money effect. Your brain has shifted from capital preservation mode to house money mode, and the rules that guided your initial success start to erode.
The cruel irony is that the better you do initially, the stronger this effect becomes. A trader who's up 2% for the week might feel a mild version of this, but a trader who's up 10%, the house money effect is screaming in their head and they don't even know it. This is why traders often have their worst trading days after their best winning streaks. It's not coincidence. It's not the market getting harder. It's your psychology shifting gears without you realizing it. Here's what makes this so hard to catch. The house money effect doesn't feel risky when it's happening. It feels smart. It feels like capitalizing on momentum, like pressing your edge, like being aggressive when you're trading well. Your brain rationalizes every decision. Of course you should take that slightly aggressive trade. You've proven you can read the market today. Of course you should size up a bit. You're clearly in sync with price action. Of course you can hold that loser a bit longer. You've got room to work with. But here's the truth. The moment you start thinking about your gains as separate from your capital, the moment you start making decisions based on having a cushion of profits, you've activated the house money effect, and it will systematically destroy those profits. Professional traders understand this at a deep level. They don't think in terms of daily or weekly profits and losses. They think in terms of total capital. Every dollar in their account is treated the same, whether they started the day with it or made it in the first hour of trading. Amateur traders, even experienced ones, fall into the house money trap constantly. They build gains through disciplined trading, then give those gains back through undisciplined trading, all while thinking they're still following their process. The house money effect is so powerful because it operates below your conscious awareness. You don't wake up thinking, I'm going to treat my profits differently today. It just happens gradually as your gains build, and by the time you notice, the damage is already done.
Let me show you the specific ways the house money effect manifests in day-to-day trading, because recognizing these patterns is the first step to stopping them. These might sound familiar, and that's exactly the point. Pattern 1. Trade frequency increases after wins. You start the week planning to take 2 or 3 high-quality setups per day. After a couple of winning days, you're suddenly taking 5 or 6 trades, not because the market is offering more opportunities, but because you're lowering your standards. That voice in your head says you're on a hot streak, you're reading the market well, you should capitalize on it. But really, you're just taking mediocre setups because the house money effect has lowered your threshold for what qualifies as tradable. Pattern 2. Position sizing creeps up. Your rules say 1% risk per trade, but after building some gains, you start taking 1.5% risk, then 2%. You justify it by saying you're trading well, so you should size up when you're confident. But here's the reality. Your edge doesn't improve just because you had a good week. The market doesn't care about your recent performance. You're not sizing up based on better opportunities. You're sizing up because those profits feel like extra money to play with. Pattern 3. You break your stop-loss rules. Normally, when a trade hits your stop, you take the loss and move on. But when you're protecting profits, losing trades feel different. Each loss is eating into your gains for the week or month, and your brain hates that. So you start giving trades more room. You move stops. You tell yourself this particular trade deserves another chance. And what happens? Small losses turn into big losses, and your gains evaporate faster than you built them. Pattern 4. Revenge trading after giving back profits. This is the final stage of the house money effect. You've given back some of your gains, and now you're frustrated.
You start trading to get back to where you were, which leads to emotional decisions and more losses. You enter a downward spiral where you're no longer trading your strategy, you're trading your equity curve, desperately trying to get back to your weekly or monthly high. This is where accounts blow up.
Pattern 5. Relaxed risk management. When you're up nicely, your brain starts thinking you can afford a bad trade or two. You take trades outside your plan, you ignore your checklist, you skip your pre-trade analysis because you're feeling good and you trust your gut. This relaxation of process is subtle but deadly. Professional trading requires consistency in execution. The house money effect destroys that consistency by making you think the rules matter less when you're winning. Here's a real example of how this plays out. A trader starts Monday with a $50,000 account, takes 3 perfect setups, all winners, up $1,500 by Tuesday afternoon. Account is now at $51,500. Wednesday morning, they see a trade that's not quite their A-plus setup. Normally, they'd pass, but they're up for the week, trading well, so they take it. It's a loss, $400 gone. Still up $1,100 for the week, though, so no big deal. Wednesday afternoon, another marginal setup. They take it because they need to make back that $400 to get back to $1,500 in profits. Another loss, $400 more gone. Now they're only up $700 for the week. Thursday, they're frustrated. They take more trades trying to get back to that $1,500 level. Some win, some lose, but the quality of decision-making has completely deteriorated. By Friday, they're up $200 for the week after being up $1,500 on Tuesday. This trader didn't have a strategy problem. They didn't need better technical analysis. They fell victim to the house money effect, and it systematically destroyed the gains they'd built through good trading. The pattern is always the same. Disciplined trading builds profits. Profits trigger the house money effect. The house money effect leads to undisciplined trading. Undisciplined trading gives back the profits. Then the cycle either repeats or spirals into bigger losses. Understanding that this is happening is crucial, but it's not enough. You need to know why your brain does this and how to actively counteract it, because awareness alone won't save you when you're up nicely and your brain starts whispering that you can afford to take a few liberties.
Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's actually trying to help you based on patterns that worked in our evolutionary past. Understanding this helps you fight the house money effect with compassion for yourself rather than frustration. In ancestral environments, being more aggressive after a win made sense. If you successfully hunted a large animal, you had a buffer of food. You could take more risks exploring new territory or trying challenging hunts because you wouldn't starve if you failed. This adaptive behavior got wired into our psychology. But trading isn't hunting. The market doesn't care about your recent wins. Having profits in your account doesn't create a genuine buffer that makes risky trades safer. But your ancient brain doesn't know that, so it keeps activating this outdated risk-taking program. Here's the key insight. Your brain categorizes money into mental accounts. Original capital goes in the serious money account. Recent profits go in the house money account. These accounts trigger different emotional responses and different decision-making patterns. To stop giving back your gains, you need to collapse these mental accounts. Every dollar in your trading account needs to feel the same, whether you started with it or made it this morning. This isn't easy, but it's absolutely essential. Strategy 1. Track total account equity only. Stop thinking about daily or weekly profit and loss. Focus exclusively on your total account balance. When you look at your account, you shouldn't see, I'm up $500 this week. You should see, I have a $50,500 account to protect. This mental shift is powerful. When that $500 is integrated into your total capital rather than segregated as this week's profits, your brain treats it with the same respect as your original capital. The house money effect loses its grip. Strategy 2. Reset your mental baseline constantly. Every morning, your account balance is your new baseline. You're not defending profits from earlier in the week. You're managing today's capital. This prevents the accumulation of house money feelings. Some traders actually withdraw profits regularly for this exact reason. They keep their trading account at a consistent size and remove gains periodically. This prevents the psychological trap of having buffer money that feels different from core capital. Strategy 3. Maintain identical position sizing regardless of recent performance. Your position size should be based on your total account size and the specific trade setup, nothing else. Not how well you've traded recently, not whether you're up or down for the week, just account size and setup quality. Write this rule down and post it where you can see it. Position sizing is independent of recent performance. This one rule, followed strictly, eliminates much of the damage from the house money effect. Strategy 4. Increase scrutiny when you're winning. Most traders get more careful after losses and more relaxed after wins. You need to do the opposite. When you've had winning trades, that's when you need to be most vigilant about following your process. Before every trade, especially when you're up for the day or week, ask yourself, would I take this exact trade with this exact position size if I were starting fresh today? If the honest answer is no, don't take it. Strategy 5. Understand that profits are just undrawn capital. This is a mindset shift that professional traders embody. The money in your account isn't divided into original capital and profits, it's all just capital. Capital you can either grow through disciplined trading or lose through undisciplined trading. When you truly internalize this, the house money effect can't take root. There is no house money, there's only your trading capital, and every decision you make either protects it or puts it at risk. Strategy 6. Celebrate process over outcomes. When you have a winning day, don't celebrate the profits, celebrate the disciplined execution. This rewires your brain to feel good about following your rules rather than about having extra money in your account. The house money effect feeds on the emotional high of profits. When you shift the emotional reward to process adherence instead, you're much less likely to sabotage yourself after wins. Here's the ultimate test. Can you have your best trading week of the year and still follow your exact process on Friday? Can you be up significantly and still pass on marginal setups? If yes, you've conquered the house money effect. If no, you've still got work to do. Let me tell you what happened with Mark, the trader, from the beginning. Once he understood the house money effect, everything changed. He started tracking his total account equity instead of daily profit and loss. He made his position sizing completely mechanical based on account size only. Most importantly, he started treating every dollar the same. Whether he made it 6 months ago or 6 minutes ago, it was capital to be protected. Within 2 months, his pattern of giving back gains completely stopped. He started compounding his account consistently. The transformation wasn't about finding a better strategy or improving his technical analysis. It was purely psychological. He stopped activating the house money effect by changing how he thought about his profits. You can do the same thing. The pattern of building gains and giving them back isn't a personality flaw or a lack of discipline. It's a predictable psychological mechanism that every trader faces. The difference between successful traders and struggling traders is simply awareness and active countermeasures. Here's what you need to understand. This will happen again. Even knowing about the house money effect, you'll still feel it trying to activate. After a great trading day, you'll feel that subtle shift where risks seem more acceptable. That's normal. That's your brain doing what brains do. The key is catching it early. The moment you notice yourself thinking, well, I'm up for the week, so this trade is okay, even though it's not my best setup, stop. That's the house money effect talking. Reset. Ask yourself if you'd take this trade if you were starting the week at break even. Some traders find it helpful to have a physical reset ritual. After a winning trade or a profitable morning, they stand up, walk away from their desk for 2 minutes, and consciously reset their mindset. They remind themselves that they're managing total capital, not defending profits. Others use a simple rule. After any day where they're up more than a certain percentage, they stop trading for the rest of the day. They've proven they can execute well, and they'd rather protect those gains than risk activating the house money effect by continuing to trade. Find what works for you. but have a system. The house money effect is too powerful to fight with willpower alone. You need structures and rules that prevent it from taking hold in the first place. Remember, your biggest enemy in trading isn't the market. It's not other traders or algorithms or volatility. It's your own psychology operating in ways you don't understand. The house money effect is one of the most common and most destructive of these psychological patterns. But now you know about it. You understand how it works, why it happens, and how to stop it. That knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Only if you actively implement the strategies we've discussed. So here's my challenge to you. For the next month, track not just your trades, but your psychological state. When you're up for the day or week, write down how you're feeling before each trade. Notice when you start thinking about your profits as separate from your capital. Catch yourself treating house money differently. And when you do, reset. Remind yourself that it's all just capital. Every dollar matters the same. Your job is to grow it through disciplined execution, not to play with profits because they feel like bonus money. If this resonated with you, if you recognized yourself in these patterns, hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm going to keep making content that addresses the real psychological challenges of trading, not just the technical stuff everyone else talks about. Drop a comment and tell me, have you experienced the house money effect? How has it shown up in your trading? Let's have an honest conversation about these psychological traps we all face. And if you found this valuable, share it with another trader. We're all fighting the same battles. The more we talk openly about the psychological challenges, the better we all get. Thanks for watching. Remember, protecting your gains isn't about being conservative or scared. It's about treating all your capital with the same respect, whether you started the day with it or made it in the first hour. That's how you build lasting success in this business. Your profits are real money. They're your money. Treat them that way, and you'll finally break the pattern of giving back your gains. I'll see you in the next one.